All right, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from StreetScores, and man, I've been sitting around wondering, trying to figure out what is going on with Terry McLaurin, man. I mean, last year, just overall with the offense, you had a lot of different things to point to, and this year it seems like the offense has been pretty efficient, even though he hasn't been involved as much as we hope. And I thought it was really funny too, because at the beginning of the game, very first offensive play of the game, Cliff Kingsbury threw a screen to Terry McLaurin, basically like a here. Golly, y'all been asking for it. Here you go. Here goes his first reception of the game, first play of the game, behind the line of scrimmage or whatever. But either way, this offense has looked really efficient, but it just seems like it's left Terry McLaurin behind. I want to investigate. We're going to look at the film today to figure out, is it just he's not getting open? Or is he not being seen? I mean, again, going back to last year, there were a lot of different factors. Like with the whole Terry McLaurin situation, was it Sam Howell not seeing him? Or was it Eric Bieniemy not giving them the good route concepts, good play calling, depending on when the coverages were dictating that you should call against it? I mean, we saw some routes where like Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson were running in the same spot for some crazy reason. Or is the offensive line not giving Sam Howell enough time to find Terry McLaurin when he's open? All kinds of factors, and it's similar to what I'm thinking of right now. What is the reason why Terry McLaurin is not involved? This Pro Football Focus grade doesn't look good either, so maybe they feel like it's more so he's not open, but I feel like we got to watch the tape ourselves and look at it. But before we dive into all of that, make sure you stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm doing this film session for everybody to see, but the other ones that I'm going to do throughout this week, most notably like Brandon Coleman, I want to take a look at how bad his performance actually was. We're going to take a look at every single one of his snaps. We're going to take a look at Brian Robinson to see, did he really have the best game of his life, or was it just simply the offensive line giving him big holes, or is he actually improving with his vision and his agility and learning how to navigate inside the in between the tackles and things like that? So we're going to take a look at a lot of different players that stood out for me, and Johnny Newton. We got to take a look at Johnny Newton, his debut. All of those film sessions will be exclusive to channel members only, so make sure you go become a channel member if you haven't yet. But I'm doing this one for everybody, so shouts out to y'all. But let's go ahead and dive into this video, man. Let's get it. Adam. All right, before we even get to the actual film session, first of all, I just want to point out his stats. At week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where we lost 37-20, he had 4 targets, 2 catches, 17 yards. Then against the Giants, they gave him 8 targets, but he had 6 receptions, which is like, okay, that's improvement, but he only had 22 yards, only 5 more yards, even though he had 4 more catches and double the targets. And of course, a lot of those targets were screens, which you're going to see on the screen when we get to this film session. So it's like, yeah, he had more targets, but like, not just quantity, but how about the quality of targets? Can we target him deep down the field? And sadly, what would have been his biggest play, not only of the game, but so far of the season through these first 2 games, his catch down the field ended up being wiped away by Nick Allegretti. I think it was like an illegal man down the field, which was, I was wondering live, like, why were you even that far down? You didn't even have to do that. Just pass protect. Don't move up to the next guy, unless this was like a read option situation where Jaden Daniels had a choice to maybe run with the ball. Other than that, just stay back. Why did you even mess that play up there? I just felt like that was a really crazy reason for Terry McLaurin to not end up having more yards than he did, because he ended up with 22 yards total against the Giants. That would have almost doubled his yardage. He would have reached probably like 40 yards. It was a pretty nice gain, and it would have been a way that he could talk trash back to Deonte Banks, but that play was wiped away. So poor Terry McLaurin there. And as of right now, based on like what he has so far total this season, with 12 targets, 8 receptions, 39 yards total so far in 2 games, if you project that onto the like an entire season worth of games, he would be on pace for 68 receptions, only 332 yards. That is insane. We can't have that. So now it's time to get to the bottom of this. What is really wrong with Terry McLaurin? Is it outside factors, or is it him? And again, just to let you know, 63.8 overall grade, which isn't terrible at all. I mean, he was graded higher than Zach Ertz, which is pretty interesting. He was graded higher than even Samuel Cosme, so it's not like he was just out there not playing well at all. And ooh, that boy Luke McCaffrey, I'm in the way right now, but his run blocking grade, abysmal. You're gonna see that on tape. Terrible run blocking. Terry McLaurin's run blocking was also awful as well, so he's not excused, but Luke McCaffrey's even worse than that. But either way, Pro Football Focus didn't give him a great grade, but he's still above guys like Zach Ertz, who stood out more to me in that game. I thought Tyler Biotish had a pretty good game at center. He's below Terry McLaurin. I thought Samuel Cosme was pretty decent at times. All of these guys are below Terry McLaurin on Pro Football Focus grade. So Terry McLaurin must have done something right. Now let's for real dive into the tape, man. Let's get it. Now again, this is the first play, and I laughed at this immediately live stream because it just felt like a here, and you know how you say the D word, like it just seemed like, here, man, y'all complaining about Terry McLaurin not getting the ball. I'm gonna throw him a screen pass, happy now type of situation. So here goes the first play. This is Terry McLaurin right here. And I mean, they literally just give him this screen pass, and as you can see, it goes nowhere. And it's not Terry McLaurin's fault. Let's start there. This is completely because Luke McCaffrey did a terrible job of blocking for this. What is this? What was that? What was that? Luke, come on, man. You getting our boy Terry McLaurin set up for extra damage for no reason. Hey, shouts out to Terry, though. He ain't go down. Even with 3 people trying to bring him down, he ain't go down. My boy Terry said, I ain't going. I respect it, man. It wasn't much he could do with that play, especially because Luke McCaffrey literally gave the play no chance. I think this is Zach Ertz out here getting to the block. Not the best block, but at least it was made. Luke McCaffrey's guy is literally the reason Terry McLaurin's already being touched like 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing he could do, and then that gives everybody else time to rally, and then at that point, the play is dead. Now let's look at the next play. That one's just, I'm going to blame that one on Luke McCaffrey. I ain't going to lie. Now the next play, we have Terry McLaurin all the way to the outside here. Now emotions inside just a little bit, but still the outside receiver. And then we have, and not a very good block after that too, even though it is a linebacker or a safety. So it's not really much he could do, but I would prefer a better block there. But let's see. So this just looked like another screen pass. It wasn't even designed for Terry McLaurin to do anything notable, so he just gets in the way, and, you know, not the best block, but, you know, that play didn't involve him. So far, I haven't seen anything that was necessarily Terry McLaurin's fault in the passing game. Now, he's either at the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen. Let me find him. I wish we had the little arrow to tell you. I'm almost sure this is him, though, up here. If I had to bet, I would think he's the one at the top of the screen. Maybe not, actually. Where is Terry McLaurin? Is Terry McLaurin not on the field here, or was he the one at the bottom of the screen like I originally thought? Yeah, I think that may be him. Yeah, that is him right there. I mean, never open. No matter how you draw it up, not the best release package, but I mean, he got off fairly untouched, but the guy's with him every step of the way. Now, maybe if Cliff Kingsbury calls a comeback route here, maybe he kills his DB, like right here where the DB is full speed up, Terry McLaurin cuts it back, then maybe. But it seems like just by the play call, Cliff Kingsbury has him running down the field. He's not getting open over the guy. And so that's kind of like maybe a mix of Cliff Kingsbury and Terry McLaurin right there. Then I think you have Terry McLaurin right. I'm just going to assume Terry McLaurin's always at the bottom of the screen. I think that's just how he typically is outside of that screen pass we had earlier. He's going to be at the bottom of the screen more times than not. So we're just going to assume that. Little motion right here just to be, you're using your best wide receiver as a distraction. Not really much to take there. But again, I can't blame Cliff Kingsbury because this offense right now is one of the most productive offenses in the entire NFL, one of the most efficient. The way we held the time of possession, the way we converted third downs, no matter how long. He was a genius on Sunday against the Giants. So I'm not taking anything away from him there, just overall. But it would be nice if Terry McLaurin was involved a little bit more. So I'm assuming this is Terry McLaurin right here at the bottom of your screen once again. And this is just a run play, not a good run block. That's probably contributing to why his run block was so low. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next play. Let's see. We're trying to run through all these Terry McLaurin plays. All right, I'm assuming Terry McLaurin. I got to remember the cleats. I think this is him. I think he's the taller guy. I think they got him in the slot right here, maybe. I feel like he's the taller guy, but I could be tripping. Yeah, he is the taller guy right here. So I got to remember his cleats. The mostly black with a little bit of white. Let me go back and look at that block that he just did right there. Again, another play that he's not even really supposed to be involved. This is supposed to be a screen pass. And, not really much to take away from there. It would have been nice if he could have laid a block there. But, not really much to blame. It's not like his guy was the one that single-handedly made the play. He got involved in the play, but Not really much to take there. All right, Terry McLaurin, and again, the taller receiver down here at the bottom of the screen. Maybe this was like a read option where he could have thrown it to Terry McLaurin if he wanted to. Like if he would have decided, all right, let me keep this and throw it to Terry. Maybe that option is there, and maybe Jaden Daniels should have done it. Yeah, I don't know. Jaden Daniels isn't even looking at him. I feel like Cliff Kingsbury gave that option there. That's the only reason Terry McLaurin is probably doing this. Or maybe he's a distraction, but I doubt it. Maybe he's a distraction to catch the eyes of the defense, but I don't think so. I think that this is a legitimate option. Get Terry McLaurin the ball or hand it to Brian Robinson. And he decided to hand it to Brian Robinson. And, I mean, Terry McLaurin, it would have been nice with a better block, but that's not really his fault. Again, another play where he's not even really being asked to do anything in the passing game for real. Terry McLaurin, the bigger receiver right here with the black and white cleats. Because you got, I think, is that Diami or somebody? That's Diami with the all-white cleats, so it's kind of easy there. Terry McLaurin leaks out. And, I mean, Terry may have been a little open there, like a little bit, like maybe with the timing route. I mean, it was his first read. I don't know what made him stop looking at him. But I think you probably, with a great pass, though. This is a risky pass. This is one of those passes that if you underthrow it, it's probably a pick six. But he has enough separation to where you look at him, you can deliver that to the outside if you really, really want to. But at the same time, we're going to blame this play on the offensive line right here, allowing a free rusher to him. And I still don't know how he made it out of that. And then I was like, at this point, man, if you're not going to reach the line of scrimmage, just go ahead and throw the ball out of bounds so you don't lose yardage overall and take an unnecessary hit. But either way, man, I mean, just to go back real quick, I think Terry was open there. You can consider that open. He definitely has outside leverage. That's just about as open as Warndell was against Mike Sanderstill for that touchdown the Giants threw at some point in the game. So I think you probably could have thrown that. It's a risky throw, very risky throw, because you're looking at probably at best for us, best case scenario on a regular day, that's probably maybe like a 10-yard gain while you're risking a pick six. So I don't know if that's underthrown any little bit, it's probably a pick six. So maybe not the smartest idea. Terry McLaurin's the furthest one outside. Again, now I'm recognizing him by the cleats. That's definitely not him with that ugly little stance to start. I'm assuming that's a tight end or something, trotting down the field like that. All right, so we got Terry McLaurin deep down the field. I mean, you kind of had him a little bit, but he was double teamed. And I can understand why, especially with the offensive line that he has right now in front of him. With pressure coming right up the middle, he's not very comfortable. He has to step up into the pocket. Terry McLaurin is still double teamed. I mean, bet like in a perfect world, maybe you do throw this and allow, because he has a slight yard over somebody, but offensive line not allowing him to do it. I'm gonna blame the offensive line on that. Also, he was just doubled. I mean, Todd Bowles even said it himself. Like after the game we had against the Buccaneers, we're stopping Terry McLaurin first. We'll figure the rest out after that. Terry McLaurin is down at the bottom of your screen right now. And I mean, I guess kind of open, but maybe he was just a distraction. Jaden Daniels got rid of this so quickly that maybe this was the play call from Cliff Kingsbury, or maybe he just looked pre-snap, saw what he had, knew that they were, playing some soft coverage, and was like, okay, yeah, we can get this off real quick. Let me avoid this edge rusher, get it to him. And then Terry McLaurin just happens to be on the other side of the field with nothing going on. And look how open Brian Robinson is. Was he open the whole time? Was this just a big play we missed out on? Nah, they would have had him. They just already saw the ball out, so all right, we don't even have to worry about this guy, so that's cool. But yeah, Terry McLaurin wise, I mean, slightly open, but it looked like Jaden Daniels preferred the other option that he had, and it picked up a decent amount of yards, so you can't complain about it. Here goes Terry McLaurin at the bottom of the screen, outside as well, motion and pre-snap. Fake handoff to him, and I mean, there's nothing really going, and there was a Giants DB just waiting on him, even if he did have that. I don't know. And then, that wasn't even blocked. So just say you get it to Terry McLaurin. Whoever that is, I think that's Zach Ertz. He didn't even go block this guy. So thanks for that if we did give it to Terry McLaurin. Maybe the play call was designed for Terry McLaurin to only be a distraction. I'm seeing a little bit of too much of that right now, Cliff Kingsbury. Stop using one of your best players, arguably your best receiver, as a distraction right now. That's the PTSD we have from the Eric Bieniemy and Scott Turner days, using them as a distraction rather than a weapon. Bottom of the screen, of course, and obviously, this has nothing to really deal with Terry McLaurin. Even the way, his release package, he didn't even try to sell it. He didn't even try to make it seem like maybe I'm about to go out there and potentially be a target. He's just chilling. And then after a while Jaden Daniels is scrambling, he's not even really trying to get open real bad. Like, he's not even running full speed. He's kind of just chilling. I don't know if he's tired. I don't know if he stopped caring. I don't know. He looked lethargic on that one. I mean, it's hard to really blame him too much, but, you know, that, I mean, at least try a little bit harder. Bottom of the screen again. Fairly open, but again, the way he ran the route, I mean, he didn't even look. Like, he just kind of, it seems like he doesn't even expect to even possibly get the ball. I mean, it looks like he just ran this route. Okay, nice little fake outside. Then, like, it looks like it's going to end up being some sort of a post route. But it's a running play, so I guess he was just a distraction anyway. So, again, not really being utilized in any particular way. Let's see what I just want to see, like, when we actually are telling our receivers to run routes, like, they will catch it. And of course, he's at the bottom of the screen. Another motion, and then that's the Ben Sinnott penalty that messed it all up. We were about to go for it on 4th and 1. Thanks a lot, genius. Messed up the whole drive, opening drive, where we almost took off 10 minutes of the clock. All right, so we got the ball back. It's 1st and 10 from our 30 with a minute left in the first quarter. Terry McLaurin motions inside just a little bit. Nobody's really looking at him. I guess this is zone coverage. I would expect Jaden Daniels to recognize that, but it's a run play. So I don't know if Cliff Kingsbury if this is like a read option to where you can hold it and run it yourself, or you can give it to Brian Robinson, or maybe even throw it to one of the, he has several options. Throw it to one of the receivers, give it to Brian Robinson, or keep it yourself. He decided to just give it to Brian Robinson. It didn't get much, but Terry McLaurin, I mean, maybe with the route concept, maybe he's open. I mean, but I don't know. That's one of them tricky ones, because you see this guy coming underneath, but if you throw it over his head, and Terry McLaurin has plenty of daylight here, so that one may blame that on Jaden Daniels, because Cliff Kingsbury gave him options. He didn't read the entire situation. Terry McLaurin ended up being open there, so I'm gonna give that to Terry McLaurin being open and was not seen. All right, here goes Terry McLaurin at the bottom of the screen again, and I mean, not the most separation, but a perfect pass could maybe get there, but I mean, that's a tough throw. That's a tough throw to make. He had like a slight lead in front of him, and I don't know why this one is so blurry. What happened to this play? Who smudged the camera on this one, man? But I'm assuming that's Terry McLaurin up top. That was that contested catch to Zach Ertz that he took away from the DB, which was really impressive. But he wasn't really open, so it makes him trust Zach Ertz. Well, he was. Okay, so he is more open. There's more daylight there. I understand why he threw it. The problem was he floated it. If he would have just thrown a complete dart to him, Zach Ertz doesn't even have to wrestle this away from the DB. And Terry McLaurin, going back to him, just looking at where he was this whole play, outside on the island. Good release. I mean, that was probably the best release I've seen so far, by far. And I mean, just based on the route concept with the underneath, again, they're showing attention to him. They let Luke McCaffrey do whatever you want. No safety help. If Jaden Daniels maybe holds on to this a little bit longer, Luke McCaffrey streaking across the field. That's a big explosive play that we probably missed on. I'm going to blame Jaden Daniels for not seeing that, even though I'm happy that he made this completion, even though it's an ugly throw. You have a bigger play here, but I understand with the offensive line, you feel that pressure. You have that internal clock going. Maybe you're like, I don't have time for routes like that. But Luke McCaffrey ends up running free, because this guy's responsible for Zach Ertz, and then the safety that's technically responsible for this area, again, Terry McLaurin, if anything, is a distraction. Even though Cliff Kingsbury didn't ask him to be a distraction on this play, you could tell, just like the Buccaneers did, the Giants are focused on stopping Terry McLaurin first. I mean, let Luke McCaffrey run free all he wants over the top, wide open, actually, and that's open enough at the NFL level. Maybe college you don't consider that open, but NFL-wise, that's a wide open, deep ball play, probably even for a touchdown. But the safety that's supposed to be there is like, nah, forget that. I'm worried about Terry first and foremost, and that's it. You can tell that the Giants are definitely scheming against this guy, and I'm pretty sure more teams will continue to do that until we start to show off some of these other receivers, show what they can do. Maybe Noah Brown, Luke McCaffrey start to put together some great games, and then defenses stop focusing on Terry McLaurin and allow him to have some one-on-ones and see what he does. So now they're giving a lot of space here for Terry, but this was not designed for him. It looks like this whole play was either handed off to the running back or throw it here, or more to underneath Zach Ertz, or maybe it was just for Zach Ertz underneath the entire time. Maybe there was no option. Maybe it was literally just play action, throw it to Zach Ertz underneath based on the coverages that we've seen the Giants run the past few plays. So pretty good play call by Cliff Kingsbury, but it didn't involve Terry McLaurin, which is not his fault. Terry McLaurin, black and white cleats, all the way to the outside, I'm assuming. I think that's him out here. Is that another screen? It was an option to throw him the screen, but Jaden Daniels decided to hand it off to Brian Robinson for a first down. It was 2nd and 3. I'm not mad at that decision to give him that run real quick. I mean, it's just a quick little first down. We're just trying to move the chains. Now this one's 3rd and 1. They didn't get the first down. This is 3rd and 1. You have the option to throw the screen to Terry McLaurin again, but instead you hand it to Brian Robinson. It's a big play. You can't be mad. Terry McLaurin, maybe there's an opportunity there for him to make a play, but at least the other guys are making plays. The offense is moving. That's the weird part about this. Like, yeah, Terry McLaurin is not as involved as we hoped, but the offense is clicking. I don't know if y'all have seen our EPA per play numbers right now, but Cliff Kingsbury has us like top 6 in like 7 different offensive categories right now. Like, he's cooking. It's just sad that Terry McLaurin isn't really like involved as much as we like. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen eventually, but it would be nice if it happened a little bit more often. I mean, you're paying him the money. He is technically your wide receiver 1. I would like to see you draw up some of these plays that you're drawing for the other guys for Terry McLaurin. I mean, everybody and their mama knows that the Giants' number 1 receiver is Malik Neighbors, and he still found a way to cook us for 10 catches and 120 something yards. He should have had even more than that if he didn't have 2 drops, especially the game-winning drop basically for us to set us up for the game-winning drive. But I believe, nah, that's Noah Brown. I think this is Terry McLaurin on the inside. They got Terry McLaurin inside. He's one of these guys. I don't know what this route concept was, but Jaden Daniels had pressure on him so quickly, it didn't matter what routes we ran, honestly. So we're just going to chalk this up to offensive line right here. I mean, golly. Before anybody even has a chance of being open, except for this guy right here, this play is cooked. Jaden Daniels running for his life, so we're going to blame the offensive line that time. But again, one of my main takeaways is that, yeah, Terry McLaurin is not involved as much as we like, but the offense is still clicking. Maybe he's the answer for your red zone worries right now, where we just weren't getting anything done. And this play is so sad because this is a good route concept right here that they did against the zone coverage that the Giants are running right now. Or is this man? Is this man? I think this is man, actually. But those lines, it's zone. It's definitely zone. It's definitely zone. I don't know why and that's how you can tell they're showing Terry McLaurin extra attention. Because the reason I'm confused as to whether it's man or zone is because it seems like the only receiver being manned up against is Terry. This is the only guy that the corner is staring dead at the receiver. Everybody else is just in a zone somewhere. This guy's following Terry no matter where he goes. I'm telling you, you can blame the offensive line. You can blame Cliff Kingsbury for a little bit of it. You can blame Jaden Daniels for not seeing him at times. You can even blame Terry McLaurin sometimes for not giving it his all so far we've seen on some of these routes. But at the end of the day, the Giants are literally deciding, just like the Buccaneers did last week. Todd Bowles literally said it out loud in his press conference immediately after the game. We're stopping Terry McLaurin first. We're worried about everything else afterwards. And you could tell that overall they're running zone coverage, and Terry McLaurin is the only guy with man coverage on him. This guy's following him no matter what's going on. It's like off man. It's not like the most tight coverage, but this guy is, hey, when in doubt, Terry McLaurin is held responsible. We have a man on that zone everywhere else. We'll figure it out. But it's sad because we have open receivers, but you can blame the offensive line for this one. We can blame the Giants prioritizing Terry McLaurin and the offensive line, especially for that play. And that's probably going to be the blame for most of this. All right, so we have Terry McLaurin on the outside by himself again. He's always going to be on the left side of the offense like 90-something% of the time. And, I mean, he didn't even really sell that route. You could tell we were just running the ball. Nothing to really take away from there. Then Terry McLaurin on an island by himself out wide to the left again. Running his route. Let's see what's going on. I mean, not really open. I mean, I guess I if you throw it over top, like if we're really just trying to be petty, like really nitpicky, and we're just like, forget every other receiver on the field. You get this ball to Terry McLaurin no matter what in this circumstance. You could throw it there, but how about this receiver streak? Is that Luke McCaffrey wide open? And so let me figure out why. Now let me look at why Jaden Daniels did not take the time to make sure he got this ball to Luke. See, now, Jaden, this is what I'm talking about. Now, granted, the offensive line has been bad. You've been hit quite a bit trying to stay in the pocket so far this game. But, man, if you just wait a little bit longer and scan the field and understand pre-snap what coverages the Giants are in a little bit better, you just hang in that pocket just a little while. You're right. If you're right there chilling in the pocket, you could have gotten this ball to him for a big play, man. Big play. I mean, that's a miscommunication. That's a blown coverage all day. Doesn't concern Terry McLaurin specifically, but you know, while we're here to do film. We're here to talk football, and if I'm gonna notice mistakes from other players, we're gonna point it out. Terry McLaurin all the way out wide by himself. Well, you had the tight end next to him, and just another play where he's not really supposed to be involved. It's a run play. They're not asking him to really do anything. Let's move on to the next play. Let's see. Terry McLaurin all the way out wide this time. Seemed like Noah Brown at the bottom. I don't know who this is. Maybe Olamide or De'Ami Brown, somebody, but it doesn't really matter for the purpose of this film session. That time they forced it to him. They were like, all right, Terry, you haven't touched the ball in a while. This isn't the most separation at all. Like, this is not elite level separation or anything, but with good timing from Jaden Daniels, as soon as Terry McLaurin's basically coming out of his break, the only time that he's even slightly open, Jaden Daniels rips it in there for him. I'll take it. Sometimes you just may have to do that with Terry McLaurin. Maybe he's not the type of receiver like Malik Neighbors is going to be open all the time. Maybe that's just not his bag. And it's hard to say that. I love Terry McLaurin, but Malik Neighbors is clearly a wide receiver one. No matter what we did, even sometimes double teaming him, if you look at the tape, he still found a way to get open. And it just seems like Terry McLaurin doesn't have maybe that extra gear to be able to do something like that. But here you go outside. I'm rooting for him too, though. And that time, not really open there. Now, if maybe if Jaden Daniels throws this a little bit sooner, like as Terry McLaurin's coming out of his break, like if the ball's already out and then maybe like here it's already there, maybe. But by the time it gets there, this linebacker's already coming up. And shouts out to the Giants linebacker. Salute to you for not knocking Terry McLaurin's heads off. Because with how late this ball was, this was a hospital ball from Terry McLaurin, basically trying to get from Jaden Daniels, basically getting Terry McLaurin killed. I know we're asking for Terry McLaurin to get more targets and to be involved more, but don't give him a hospital ball to do it, man. Like, you can find another way. But yeah, was he necessarily open on this play? Not really. Not really. Maybe if Jaden Daniels throws it a little bit sooner, maybe you can squeeze it in there, but he wasn't the most open guy on that play. Probably other guys more open. Terry McLaurin up at the top of the screen once again. This time he's open. A little late and behind. We blame Jaden Daniels for that one. You should have thrown... Well, let me see. Is the offensive line the reason this came out so bad? Nah, just go ahead. You see him. He's open. The DB is this far away. Go ahead and get it to him. What took you so long? And then you threw it behind him, which I'm not mad at because I see the logic for throwing it behind him. You're trying to make sure you don't give him another hospital ball. If you throw it inside and this DB, just look at the angle the DB is coming from. And you throw it inside and he turns this way, going like over here towards where this guy is coming to, not from. He could get blasted, especially by the safety as well. So I thank you, Jaden Daniels, for at least throwing it to his outside shoulder for that reason, to keep him safe. You just gave him a hospital ball in the previous play that we just looked at. But at least throw it sooner, man. The problem from Jaden Daniels here is that he did not throw it quickly enough. You have plenty of time. Let me just watch you. Watch you. Open the whole time. Pre-snap. You should have known based on the coverage that they had. Of course, now you're a rookie. This is game 2 of your NFL career, so I'm not going to get on you too much. But as once you're like a veteran in this game, I expect this, to know pre-snap that Terry McLaurin's going to be open, and you deliver this immediately. You're not waiting. And then that's an easy catch right there, an easy play. Should be an easy catch for him. Should have more yards than he had in the game. Now, again, that one's Jaden Daniels' fault, but some of them have been Terry McLaurin. A lot of them have been in the offensive line. Some of you can blame on Cliff Kingsbury, but a lot of it is really just the Giants prioritizing this guy. Again, that one play where they had everybody else in zone, but they had Terry McLaurin in man coverage specifically shows you how much the Giants are not playing with Terry. But on this play right here and a lot of other plays, they're just leaving him. They're on the island. But it looks like Jaden Daniels was immediately looking this way as soon as the play started. And I'm not mad at it because it's a great play. I think Terry McLaurin on this play was just a distraction. So this looks like a Cliff Kingsbury play call right here. We already know we're throwing it to Austin Ekeler before the play is even called. Let's just set it up. Let everybody run their routes. Be patient. Austin Ekeler juked the linebacker out of his boots. And then a good block by whichever offensive lineman, maybe Samuel Cosme, came up to make a play. And then Austin Ekeler does the rest. So that one, Terry McLaurin is not involved in the play. So I guess you can blame Cliff Kingsbury, but again, just like that play, a lot of these plays have been very productive for us. We gain a lot of yards, even though Terry McLaurin is not an option on the play. Terry McLaurin outside by himself, like on an island with just one DB. I don't know what that DB just told him. Maybe he's like, I got your help over top, so don't worry about it. Play aggressively, play up. I don't know. But it looks like off man. Up there goes one of those false starts. Thanks. I don't even know why I broke this play down at this point. Now we're starting to see those false starts coming again. All right, now we're back a little bit. A soft coverage, man. If Terry McLaurin wants to do something underneath, maybe Cliff Kingsbury needs to call some underneath stuff for Terry McLaurin when teams are playing off of him like this. They're deadly afraid of his speed and his ability to get past them for a touchdown. So just tell him to run curl routes. Tell him to run out routes like Malik Neighbors was killing us with. Curl routes and out routes. double move routes. They're giving them all of that cushion underneath. How about you just ask them to run a slant right here, just slant across. Wide open right here. You could throw that with time and it'd be easy. And sadly, Jaden Daniels was looking at Terry McLaurin that time, as you can see, but the pocket didn't allow him to stay in that pocket and find him. But hey, I'll take the scrambling from Jaden Daniels there to turn a negative into a positive. Now it's 2nd and 6. Terry McLaurin all the way outside. I'm assuming just based on this, it's probably just a run play. Terry McLaurin on run blocking, terrible. That was a terrible run block. That's why he has that low run blocking grade, which is overall affecting his overall Pro Football Focus grade. Now we have Terry McLaurin on the outside again. This is 3rd and 4. Let's see. I mean, of course, we didn't convert it. I want to see why. Oh, yeah, so this is one of the plays I question the most from Cliff Kingsbury all game. This is the 2nd quarter with 2 minutes left, like right at the play, right after the 2-minute warning. It's 3rd and 4. If you don't plan on going for it on 4th down, why would you just run it right up the middle with Austin Eckler? I could see maybe if you were like, okay, we're gonna go for it on 4th down, let's try to get a touchdown. Maybe I can see it. Other than that, I don't get it. I say you just put it in Jaden Daniels' hands, let him scan the field, see if he can find an open receiver, get it to them, or just use his legs to get it. But either way, it's a run play, so it's really hard to really break down what Terry McLaurin was doing. But you see him talking. Him and Deonte Banks were talking all game, even pre-snap talking all game. Now you have Terry McLaurin. Look at this cushion. If this is a pass play, even if it's a run play, I'm audibling out of it and telling Terry McLaurin, man, just run a curl, bro. Just run a little quick, run up 5 yards and stop and turn around, man. Come on now. Look at all of this. Look at all of this, man. Okay, but never mind. Okay, so a successful play to Terry McLaurin. But this is the one where Nick Allegretti got upfield way too quickly, and I do not understand why. If this is a pass play, unless there was an option for him to give the ball to Brian Robinson, maybe this is read option. Maybe we can excuse Nick because this is maybe a read option, and we're even pulling a guard. I think that was Samuel Cosby pulling over but he didn't do a good job of doing it. I mean, he just let the guy go right by him. But either way, maybe Jaden Daniels had the option, pre-snap. Okay, depending on what the coverage is showing, I can either give this to Brian Robinson or I can throw it. He decided, okay, but Nick, I mean, if this is the option, I'm confused. If there is an option for you to throw the ball and not only run it, I would just love it if he doesn't get up here and cause this illegal man down the field. But either way, all of this cushion, just ask him to run a slant or something. Run underneath routes, open, wide open, easy completion for Terry McLaurin. But again, it was called back, so this play doesn't count towards Terry McLaurin's stats and targets, sadly. So that just goes away on the stat book. You'll never see it again. Outside again, you have to be looking at this. Look at all of this space 10 yards away from the guy. Just run a curl route, man. It's open. It's literally open. I love Cliff Kingsbury's game plan. I don't want to question him too much because I feel like he did a great job overall. He was really creative. But why, when you see that much cushion over and over again against Terry McLaurin, you don't just go ahead and ask him to run a quick curl route? It's 1st and 10. Get a quick little 7 yards off of it. Now it's 2nd and 3. Your whole playbook is open. So here we go. Open. Okay, so there you go. Underneath stuff. And that time, they weren't even playing as far off. The previous play, they were 10 yards away. This time, they're only like 5 yards away. And you were still able to do it, especially against this zone coverage that they're running right here. Just run to where the zone has a hole in it. Quick little throw right there from Jaden Daniels. Shouts out to Jaden for having a good enough arm. You see some zip in his passes that I didn't even really notice on his tape from LSU. He has a stronger arm than I thought even coming out of the combine. All right, Terry McLaurin at the bottom of the screen again. Now, this is like 8 yards of separation. But granted, they're trying to do everything that they can to stop him from... He's open, man. But it's a success. Again, theme of the day. One of the major themes is that the Giants are doing everything that they can to stop them, and then the plays that they don't, where they actually just give them one-on-one coverage. Again, Cliff Kingsbury, it'd be nice if you just asked Terry McLaurin to run some underneath stuff just to get them going, get them more targets, get them more yards, all that type of stuff. Even if it's not a big play, if it's just a quick 7 yards, cool. You can ask him to run a curl right here. It would have been open, even though you had Brian Robinson underneath wide open right here. I mean, this guy's running here. If Jaden Daniels realizes that, Brian Robinson, I don't think he gets a touchdown because you saw him get ran down from behind on that one big run he had earlier. But this is a big play here. But how can you complain? Because Jaden Daniels finds this guy wide open. I think this may have been Zach Ertz on that play. And I mean, it's just the other theme is when Terry McLaurin is open and they don't give him the ball, somebody else is open and they get the ball and make a big play. So it's just like, it's not even like we're hurting. It's not like, oh, we're not targeting Terry McLaurin and the offense is suffering from it. Somebody else is just making a play. Somebody else is catching the ball. Somebody else is getting the attention. You have Terry McLaurin on the inside this time, actually, which is really interesting. And oh boy, whoo, that screenplay would have been a pick six if Jaden Daniels even thought about it. Shouts out to the Giants DBs for reading that. And then you have this guy in zone coverage stopping Terry McLaurin from beating him deep from no matter what. And you could tell that was probably a Cliff Kingsbury play call. Because you know that Jaden Daniels loves the slot fade. That was a slot fade from Terry McLaurin right there. Then the next play, run and play. I mean, he didn't really contribute much there, but Brian Robinson did all the work again. Terry McLaurin is not involved, but the offense is moving. Again, the only real problems we had yesterday was scoring in the red zone. I blame penalties more than anything else, but maybe Terry McLaurin is the answer in the red zone. Who knows? We'll see. Terry McLaurin on the outside, another distraction. Really didn't even put much effort into that route because he knows he's not getting the ball. They're running the ball. I would prefer if he gave it his all every single route, every single play, but I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. And Terry McLaurin, I believe he's right here. Yep, that's him right there because that's Luke McCaffrey right there. De'Ami Brown right there. And I mean, he throws his hand up. He is kind of open, but then this receiver brings his DB to him, and it's just hard to. That's a risky throw for Jaden. I understand why Terry McLaurin threw his hands up, but I also understand why Jaden Daniels didn't want to throw that because you're looking at this. Shouts out to Jaden Daniels for realizing that, okay, route wise, I know I have a receiver coming this way, so his DB is probably watching me while I'm scrambling, and so let me just be. Even if he's not looking at this situation here, he just knows from pre-snap calculations that there's probably a DB in that area. And even though if you just ignore this, Terry McLaurin's wide open, but I'm pretty sure Jaden Daniels is aware of that. Shouts out to Jaden Daniels for not being a rookie and throwing that because, oh my lord, my number one receiver is open right now. At least based on the guy that's covering him. The guy that's covering him is behind. He should be open, but you got to remember this guy's here right here as well. So I understand why Terry McLaurin throws his hand up because he's like, I beat my guy, but at the same time, you didn't beat everybody's guy. Another guy's guy is in the way of you, and I don't know if you want to blame Cliff Kingsbury for the route concept there. I don't know, but either way, hey man, I'm not mad at that one right there. Jaden Daniels though, throw that ball out of bounds though. I'm gonna keep telling you that. Instead of taking these 2, 3 yard, 4 yard sacks, just throw it out of bounds, man. You stop the clock from moving, and we stop losing yardage for no reason. So make sure you throw these passes out of bounds. I'm pretty sure Cliff Kingsbury is gonna tell him that over and over again. I don't even know where Terry McLaurin was on this play. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, Terry McLaurin, let's take it all the way back. This isn't him. I think this is Olamide. Is it? Is this Olamide or is this Terry? Maybe. No, that's Olamide. All right, where's Terry on this play, man? Him all the way outside out here, maybe? That's probably him right there. He switched to the other side of the field. And yeah, I mean, he wasn't particularly open that play. Do you want to blame Terry for that one? I don't know. It was an interesting route concept to where didn't really give him the option to be very open, but it would have been nice if he could have gotten open himself. All right, so now another Terry McLaurin screen. Whose fault is this? Let's take that back. That was terrible. Terry McLaurin screen. Who do I blame? Where are you going? Hey, block this guy first, dog. We'll worry about him later. How about this guy? Or how about him? So who's responsible for him? Nick Allegretti, bro. No, that's Andrew, my fault. Andrew Wiley. Is that Andrew Wiley's fault? But then again, I mean, it would have been nice if he could have kick stepped outside enough to be able to make this play, but that's a hard ask. I'm not going to lie. This play was just doomed from the start. It looks like the Giants sniffed it out. They were tired of us throwing screens, so they looked like they were just ready for that one. I mean, what can you really do there? All right, now with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Terry McLaurin by himself all the way down at the bottom of the screen outside. Let's see what's going on. Open. Okay, that was a completed pass to Terry McLaurin. Good job. You gotta shouts out to Cliff Kingsbury for realizing that time. Soft coverage. Let's run some routes where it's a double move where, okay, you're running one way and you break somewhere else. You break in underneath, out somewhere. Malik Neighbors was killing us with those routes all day. Let Terry McLaurin do it as well. Terry McLaurin right here. I'm assuming it looks like a running play, so maybe we just go ahead and hand the ball off. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't really asked to do much there. Oh, my Lord, I forgot about that play. This is the play I was talking about where Brian Robinson gets ran down from behind. But it still would have been nice if he could have got the ball underneath of that other play like a few plays ago. Was that like 5 plays ago or something? All right, Terry McLaurin all the way the furthest out wide, of course. Another screen option, but Jaden Daniels prefers to give it to the running back. I love how much Cliff Kingsbury gives Jaden Daniels the option now to hand it off, keep it himself, throw a screen, throw a route to a receiver, whatever. He's just giving this guy all of this control per play. It's not every play, but on one singular play, he has all of those options, and I like it. Terry McLaurin at the bottom of the screen again. Another screen. He decided to just hand the ball off again. And let me just go back real quick. If he would have thrown this screen, would that have been a bad decision? because it looks like it was a good decision to hand that ball off to Austin Eckler right there. That was a great run. That was a very productive play. Again, that same theme. Terry McLaurin doesn't get the ball, but it's a productive play that somebody else is making while he's not getting the ball. It's not like we're not giving Terry McLaurin the ball and everybody else is just trash. It's just other people are making plays. This could have gone for something. Then again, all game, Luke McCaffrey hasn't blocked a single thing. So maybe you're just pessimistic about him at this point. You're like, nah, there's no way he's going to be able to block 2 guys, and let alone 1, please. So, maybe we just don't throw that. Just give it to Austin Eckler real quick. And it's a productive play. Terry McLaurin doesn't get the ball when he could have gotten the ball. He's technically open on the screen pass, but it was a productive play, and it probably went for more than what it would have went for if you gave Terry McLaurin the ball. And I'm not too mad right there. He kind of did his job. He barely got hands on the DB, but the DB basically ran himself out of the play anyway. All right, now we're 2nd and 4. I'm just going to assume, because things look like they're going too well right now. The ball is moving. We're running the ball effectively. It's 2nd and 4. We're this close to scoring. 2nd and 4, goal to go. I just know a false start is on the way. But either way, Terry McLaurin, yep. No point of even analyzing the play. Yep. Yeah, it's cooked. Thanks. Yep. You could just feel it inside. Things are going too well. There's a false start penalty on the way, right? All right, 2nd and 9 now after the false start. Terry McLaurin, more than like, at the bottom of your screen, and it's a run play. So he's just kind of out there just running cardio, basically. All right, let's see what the next play has in store for my boy Terry McLaurin, man. I'm rooting for you, man. I'm really trying to get down to the bottom of this right now. Terry McLaurin at the bottom of your screen once again. Let's see what happens here. Double move. Faked he was going inside. And, I can see the strategy there. I don't know if Cliff Kingsbury called this himself or if this was a Terry McLaurin decision, but it's a lot of cushion. So when you stop and go underneath, okay, so you just assume maybe the DB is going to strike up and play up. You're going to be wide open for a touchdown. The DB did not fall for that at all. He's like, no, I have this cushion for a reason. You can do whatever you want underneath. You're not going to beat me over top. And I just wish Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels realized this sooner in the game so they could start to, throw those passes to him sooner. And then let me look at Jaden Daniels. What's happening here? Oh, immediate pressure. I think was that Samuel Cosme's fault? No, this is the play where Andrew Wiley got beat so bad that Samuel Cosme had to hold Brian Burns. Andrew Wiley got whooped so bad that Samuel Cosme ended up with a holding penalty. I remember that. And the Giants, of course, declined because they're like, whatever. Y'all already backed up from the false start penalty. We'll decline that one. Moving on. You have Terry McLaurin outside. Yeah, because that's Olamide coming across. And then that's a little, let's see, Terry McLaurin. Wait, I lost track of Terry McLaurin. I'm not going to lie. I was looking at Olamide, man. Where's Terry McLaurin on this play? Wait, did I lose him? Let's take this all the way back. This is Terry, right? It's Terry? Not a good block. Yeah, your guy is the reason this play didn't go anywhere. Yeah, thanks, Terry. This is why your run blocking grade was atrocious today, man. This was your fault. And if you're trying to get in the good graces of the offensive coordinator to basically show him, man, I want the ball, can you at least work hard on running plays to let them know, like, man, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing all of the dirty work for y'all, even on plays I'm not involved in. So can y'all please get me involved more? That's not a good version of that, man. What was that? How about you just bend your knees a little bit and drive them back? I thought Terry McLaurin was a great blocker from what I've seen the past few years. I don't know what this game, but he was a terrible blocker. That Olamide Zaccheaus play right there is completely obliterated because of Terry McLaurin. I'm pretty sure a lot of people blame Cliff Kingsbury, like, why are we still calling screens and doing end arounds and all of this creative trickery? Why don't we just keep it simple? But then you have a guy like Terry McLaurin, who's normally a good blocker for you, getting blasted like that and allowing his guy to get the make the play. All right, so he got bumped off the line pretty clean. Like, the DB got a good little hit on him to kind of disrupt his timing a little bit. Terry McLaurin, he stumbled a little bit, because of that. Shouts out to that Giants DB for that. And then it's clearly zone coverage, some cover 2 right here. And maybe a perfect ball with perfect timing, you can squeeze that in there. Cover 2, a post route is supposed to beat cover 2 every time. But it was a lot of other stuff going on underneath that I didn't even get a chance to look at. Terry McLaurin, the furthest outside. Never mind, forget that. Luke McCaffrey makes it like a bunch. Terry McLaurin releasing inside. And the Giants are not playing with him. What you want them to do? The Giants are not playing with them. Double teamed. Again, Giants literally saying you're gonna have to beat us with somebody else other than Terry McLaurin. Some of these plays, not all game though. I'm not gonna say and act like it was all game, like it seemed like the Buccaneers did. But a lot of these plays, man, you just got to get them the ball at a certain point, man. And Terry McLaurin's the one at the top of your screen. This is that great Noah Brown catch right here. 9 minutes, basically like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Great. Like, I mean, that wasn't even a very accurate ball from Jaden Daniels. But either way, Noah Brown, like, just watch Noah Brown compared to Terry McLaurin running their routes. Now, granted, he motions pre-snap, so he has a little bit of a head start to gain some steam. And, I mean, the separation that he has from his DB compared to Terry McLaurin. Now, granted, he had the more advantageous route, but there's a reason Noah Brown got the ball right there. Terry McLaurin did it. Again, I'm trying to root for Terry McLaurin, but these are examples and reasons why other guys were getting the ball. They were making plays. They were open. All right, Terry McLaurin screen at the top of the screen, and, of course, Luke McCaffrey doesn't do anything worth blocking his guy. Hey, if you're going to throw a screen to Terry McLaurin, can we please throw it away from Luke McCaffrey? Can we throw it to the side can we put De'Ami Brown on the field to set it up? Can De'Ami Brown be his blocker, not Luke McCaffrey out here who's getting whooped? But at the same time, maybe it's karma because Terry McLaurin's been getting whooped during this game. Olamide Zaccheaus would have had that big potential run on that end around sweep that he caught if Terry McLaurin would have blocked well. All right, Terry McLaurin coming in motion, fake the pitch. Jaden Daniels looked at him for a second, and then, oh no, this is the perfect play drawn up by Cliff Kingsbury. So everything else was a complete distraction. Terry McLaurin motioning, catching the eyes of the defense. Everything moving right. You even pull a guard right. You pulled Nick Allegretti, I think, to the right, and have the whole defense like, okay, this play is definitely going to the right. It's gotta be. And the next thing you know, they throw this to the left. You have John Bates out in front to make a block. I mean, this was perfect play design, perfect execution. If De'Ami Brown makes his block, this may be a touchdown, man. What happened? Why is De'Ami Brown behind this guy? I guess he tried to sell it. Yeah, I can't blame him. I cannot blame him for that. He was trying to sell the route to make sure the DB went as far away as possible. That's probably better than any block he could have done, so I'm not mad at it. But that was the best play call from Cliff Kingsbury all season, I would say. That play call was crazy. You could tell they set that up throughout the entire game. Like the plays they called before that, like seeing with how the Giants react to certain things. All right, I know I got this play in my back pocket. We're going to pull it out at the perfect time when they least expect it. We're going to show them these looks, and then we're going to hit them with this out of nowhere and catch them off guard. Terry McLaurin on the inside right now, technically in the slot. Oh, yeah, things were going too smoothly. This was 1st and 6, basically 1st and goal on the 6-yard line, and things are going too smoothly. I should have known. False start penalty on the way. Should have called it that time. Wasn't paying attention. That's my fault. I should have seen it coming from a mile away. Terry McLaurin, only one on this side all by himself. It looks like some pretty tight coverage here, some man coverage, but you have this guy basically responsible for Terry McLaurin, basically a double team, the safety helping, until the ball is out of Jaden Daniels' hands, which went nowhere. But technically, Terry McLaurin looks like he was double teamed that play. They were like, nope, I don't care if it's underneath. I don't care what's going on. Terry McLaurin is not getting the ball this play. Again, it wasn't all game, but it was quite a bit of the game. Let's see what's happening in the next play. Talk to me, Terry. All right, he's the one that's furthest out. I think he's to the left. I think that's Zach Ertz right there. He immediately cuts in. I mean, maybe the perfect throw with the perfect timing, but it was, that's a hard throw to make right there for Jaden Daniels. But maybe he could have made it. Maybe that little slot fade out route to the corner of the end zone. Maybe that could have worked. All right, so now we have Terry McLaurin kind of to the inside. Let's see what happens here. What are we doing? This is 3rd and 10, just to let y'all know. Another false start. Oh my Lord, man. I don't know what to say. You can't blame Cliff for this. You can't blame Terry for these either. Terry McLaurin deserves a little bit of blame for what his stats look like right now, but those right there, you can't blame him for. And that one, he's covered. It's only one guy covering him, but he's well covered. There's nothing there for him. I think Cliff Kingsbury needs to call more inside routes for him, man. Curls, slants, whatever, where he's running up and then he stops and comeback routes or whatever, because the Giants gave him too much cushion a lot of this game. You need to see the Giants are giving them this much cushion, and the DB is backing up pre-snap. It's to just know, man, forget what play you called up, dog. I'm throwing this to Terry McLaurin for an 8-yard gain instead of what looks like a 3-yard loss, dog. Throw that to Terry, man. So that's some blame to go around to Cliff and Jaden. Y'all got to recognize that sooner and start to get him the ball sooner, man. They're playing so far away from this guy. And this looks like zone coverage, but he's well covered. So the out route didn't work, but either way, Again, Terry McLaurin doesn't get the ball. No problem. Noah Brown wide open. Great throw by Jaden Daniels. His best throw of his career so far, I would argue. Great play when we needed it the most. It was 2nd and 10. I mean, we don't complete that play. We go 3rd and 10. We probably don't march down to get the game winning field goal. We needed that play at that time. It was big time for us. All right. They decided to go the opposite way of Terry McLaurin. They threw it underneath on the screen to, I don't know if that was De'Ami Brown or Olamide. I'm pretty sure Luke McCaffrey did not block well, though, just knowing he was on the field, but I didn't even notice him. Terry McLaurin all the way on the outside, the furthest one out. Screen pass option for him, but they decided to run the ball with Brian Robinson. Wise decision. Terry McLaurin doesn't get the ball, but somebody else is eating because of it. I mean, it's only one ball to go around, man, at the end of the day. Terry McLaurin furthest outside again. Noah Brown down here, man. Noah Brown looks like a threat right now. If I'm the Giants, I'm a little bit more afraid of him. All right, screen pass. This was just a pure read option. Jaden Daniels did a great job of deciding. You know, Brian Robinson's been killing them all drive, so they're going to try to do everything they can to stop Brian Robinson. Look how this defensive end bit on Brian Robinson just for Jaden Daniels to run right around him so easily, man. So easily. I love that, man. Zach Ertz, I don't know who you were trying to block, but at least you tried. But boy, it didn't look good. Terry McLaurin, we only have 2 receivers on the field right now. 2 receivers, Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown. So that shows you how, even though Noah Brown had the least snaps out of any receiver on the entire team in that game against the Giants, when we're down to this situation, Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown are your only 2 receivers on the team. So you can already tell they feel like Noah Brown is growing into our wide receiver number 2. Based on how he played today, it feels like he was the wide receiver 1. All right, so Terry McLaurin, terrible block there. Thanks a lot. What was that? Let me look at you again. Maybe he assumed that John Bates would get it. That looked like that was John Bates that was supposed to have that. I don't know. That's a hard ask of Terry McLaurin. I can't be too mad there, but still not. I mean, I don't know who. I mean, maybe pre-snap. Maybe that's Jaden Daniels' fault. Maybe he's supposed to be like, all right, John Bates, you get him. Terry, you get him or something like that. I don't know, but I can't, it's hard for me to blame Terry for that one because that guy was so far inside of him, there was nothing he could really do. And then Terry way out wide. Again, mind you, 2 wide receivers, and I'm assuming a tight end. I think we have an extra tackle and a tight end in right now. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like, or maybe 2 tight ends or something. So maybe that's 12 personnel, but both of the tight ends on one side. I don't know. Either way, that play didn't really matter. Terry McLaurin had nothing going there. And then that's it. That's the end of the game right there. That's literally it. Those are all the Terry McLaurin snaps. So yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know if you feel about everything discussed in the video. Please stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinion video just like this one. Let me know your opinion in the chat. I showed you every single Terry McLaurin play against the Giants. Let me know if you feel like if it's his fault or if you agree with me where some of it's his fault, some plays were his fault, some plays I would say were Cliff Kingsbury where you're seeing all of this cushion. Tell Terry McLaurin to run something underneath, act like you're gonna run deep, stop, come back on a curl route, come back route, whatever. It will be wide open for at least 7 yards, and granted he can maybe do something like Malik Neighbors was doing against Michael Davis where he catches it underneath, spins out of it, and ends up gaining a bunch of yards after catch. So you have that option, or sometimes the offensive line, especially in the first half, like the first half of this video and the first half of the game, the offensive line wasn't giving Jaden Daniels as much time as he needed, but they got better with their pass protection as the game went on overall. And Jaden Daniels, you can even blame him sometimes for not seeing him open a couple of times, but overall Jaden Daniels started to see the field a little bit better as the game went on. And I mean, at the end of the day, man, when Noah Brown is making plays like that, when Zach Ertz is getting open and making plays, and when the run game is that potent between Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, and Jaden Daniels' legs, it's really hard to really find the snaps in the game to give to Terry McLaurin. There were some snaps left out there that he should have gotten, that he could have gotten, but at the end of the day, again, you saw another factor. The Giants were doing everything in their power to stop him some of those plays. Not the entire game. There were some plays where they were leaving him on the island, and now that he wasn't getting open, the offensive line wasn't giving Jaden Daniels enough time to throw it to him, or Jaden Daniels just didn't see him. There's a lot of different reasons, but there were some plays that you clearly saw the Giants were like, anybody but him. Anybody but Terry McLaurin. You could beat us with anybody. And Jaden Daniels would do that. He'd be like, all right, bet Terry McLaurin double team. I'll throw it to this other guy for a 20-yard gain. So It's just the offense is moving efficiently. Sadly, it's like the offensive train left without Terry McLaurin because they're moving the ball. They're making plays. Other guys are making plays. We're converting third downs. We're dominating time of possession. We're converting third downs. We're moving the chains and things like that. But sadly, Terry McLaurin is not one of the beneficiaries of that. But the offense is moving, man. Maybe over time, maybe once the Bengals watch this tape and see, okay, maybe we shouldn't focus as much on Terry McLaurin. Maybe you need to worry about that run game. Maybe you need to worry about Jaden Daniels' legs. Maybe Zach Ertz. Maybe Noah Brown a little bit more. Maybe we should leave Terry McLaurin single covered by himself more often. Then maybe against the Bengals, you'll probably see him break out for a really good game. Who knows? But either way, I still feel like find a way to get him the ball more often. Again, I saw enough examples of soft coverage. The DB 10 yards away from him. Just tell him to run like a quick comeback, in route, whatever, slant, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Tell him to do something. Even a dig route. Just something to get him the ball more often and get him going, man. He deserves it. You pay him all of this money. Get him the ball, man. I know Cliff Kingsbury didn't sign Terry McLaurin specifically, but give him the ball, man. So let me know how y'all feel about everything discussed in this video. I really appreciate y'all for checking out this film session. Again, I do a bunch of film sessions like these on my for the channel members only, so go become a channel member if you're not. I'm doing this one for everybody, but for the rest of this week, like the next 2 or 3 that I do before we get to this Bengals game on Monday, will be channel membership only. I really appreciate y'all. Again, let me know in the comment section how you feel about this. What do you take away from this? Do you question Terry McLaurin's ability to be a wide receiver 1? Or again, the Giants treated him like a wide receiver 1, but at the same time, we treated like Malik Neighbors like he was a wide receiver 1 and he still balled out. So it's kind of like give or take. Is Terry McLaurin a wide receiver 1 or not? I can see arguments for both sides. I'm rooting for him though. I want him to be one. I think he has it in him. We just got to unlock it, man. He has to give a little bit more effort, especially in the run blocking game. He really has to give more effort on that run blocking game. So let me know how you feel about all of that. Please do not leave this video without leaving a like. I really appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all later tomorrow with a video. I'm out.